Good morning, students. So today let us start the discussion on the third unit, that is Introduction to MSP430 Architecture. So this MSP430 microcontroller series is designed by the company Texas Instruments. Okay. So let us now go through the features of this microcontroller series MSP430, which make this microcontroller very much suitable for designing the embedded systems. Okay. So the MSP430 microcontroller is small and efficient with a large number of registers. That means this MSP430 microcontroller takes a very small space on the die, that is semiconductor, that is its physical size is very small, and at the same time it is efficient in its performance. Okay, and also there are large number of registers available, so that it makes it easy for the programmer to write the programs for this MSP430 microcontroller. Now the second feature of this MSP430 microcontroller is this MSP430 microcontroller can operate at a lower voltage in the range from 1.8 volts to 3.6 volts. So you may be aware many of the digital logic ICs, for example the AND gate or OR gate IC, okay, they need 5 volts for their functioning. Okay, even we have seen one of the microcontroller, that is 8051, it needs 5 volts to function or for its proper working. But whereas you can see here MSP430, it can work in the voltage range from 1.8 to 3.6 volts. So it consumes very less power. Okay, that is one more very important feature of this MSP430, because now in many of the embedded systems, okay, we have to use the microcontroller which consumes very less power. So for this reason the MSP430 is very much suitable for being used in embedded systems. And the next feature is this MSP430 has different low power saving modes. There are many different power saving modes available, and it is very easy to place this MSP430 in any of the required power saving mode, and there is no need to write any extra instruction for putting this MSP430 into the particular power saving mode. So just you should go to the status register. There are two bits which can control the working of this which decide the low power mode of this MSP430. By either setting or resetting those bits in the status register, we can easily put this MSP430 into the low power mode. Okay, so what is the importance of these low power modes? So in many applications where we are using MSP430, sometimes we do not need the whole microcontroller to be active. So sometimes I want some peripherals to be switched off, or sometimes I want the processor to be switched off and I want only a particular peripherals to run. So like this, depend upon how much of this microcontroller I want to keep it active, and I can turn off the remaining part of this microcontroller by placing it into one of the appropriate low power modes. Okay, and the next feature is this MSP430 microcontroller has a wide choice of clocks. Internally, there are different clocks generated by this MSP430 microcontroller. So this processor MSP430, it needs one clock that is called as master clock, MCLK. Okay, so this clock will be generated by, there is internally one digitally controlled oscillator, DCO. So this is going to generate the clock for the processor. Okay, now this DCO can be started within a time period of 1 microsecond. So within this short period of time, we can start this DCO so that it can generate the clock for the processor. Now, when the processor is in one of the low power modes, and whenever there is for example, there is an interrupt, the processor should start. It should get back to its active mode, process that interrupt, and it should go back to the low power modes. So at that time, we need the DCO to start within a short period of time. So this DCO in MSP430, it can start within a period of 1 microseconds. Okay, so that is the significance of this DCO, which can generate the clock for the microcontroller core. Okay, and also there is one low frequency watch crystal that runs continuously at 32 kilohertz. Okay, and this is used to wake the device periodically from the low power modes. Okay, so if the device is in the low power mode, okay, then everything will be shut down, and if I want to wake up the processor. So that can be done with the help of this low frequency watch crystal, which is functioning at, which is generating the frequency of 32 kilohertz. Okay. The next feature is a wide range of peripherals are available in this MSP430 microcontroller. Okay, so there are a number of peripherals available. For example, it has ADC, it has DAC, it has a comparator, it has a hardware multiplier. So there is a wide range of peripherals which are available in MSP430, and many of these peripherals can function without the need for the CPU. Okay, so that is one more important features of this MSP430 microcontrollers. Okay, this MSP430 microcontrollers, some of the advanced microcontrollers in this series MSP430, they can comfortably drive the liquid crystal displays. Okay, now suppose if I am using my 8051 microcontroller to design an embedded system. Okay, instead of MSP430, I am using 8051. In that case, if my embedded system has the liquid crystal display, then the 8051 cannot directly drive the liquid crystal display. So in that case, when I am using 8051 in my embedded system, I need a liquid crystal display driver. Okay, so that is required extra. So if I use this MSP430 microcontroller, some of the microcontrollers of this series MSP430, they are capable of driving the liquid crystal displays. Okay, so there is no need for the extra liquid crystal display driver, LCD driver. It is not required. The next feature is some of the MSP430 devices are the application specific standard products. That means many of these MSP430 microcontrollers, they have the built-in specialized analog hardware for that particular application. So they are called as application specific standard products, and they are readily available in the market. So because of these features, okay, whatever the features we have discussed, it is very easy and it is very comfortable to use this MSP430 in the designing of embedded systems. So let us now study the naming convention that is used in case of MSP430 microcontroller. So as you all know, we have learned the 8051 microcontroller which can only handle digital signals. But whereas this MSP430, okay, as you can see here, this is a mixed signal processor. That means this M stands for mixed, S stands for signal, P stands for processor. So this MSP means this MSP430 series of microcontrollers, they are capable of handling both analog as well as digital signals. Okay, so this 8051 microcontroller is capable of handling only the digital signals, whereas our MSP430 microcontroller, it can handle both digital as well as analog signals. So now how are we going to name this MSP430 microcontrollers? So sometimes if I take any MSP430 IC, its name may look like this. Okay, so the name may look like this. So in that case, this MSP stands for mixed signal processor. Then this 430 is it indicates that it is one of the members of this 430 microcontroller platform, which is designed by the Texas Instruments. Okay, MSP 430. Then after this 430, this first letter F, sometimes it will be F, sometimes it will be C, sometimes it will be P. So this letter, first letter after this 430, it indicates the type of the memory that is used in that particular microcontroller. Now here, as you can see, for example, there is F after this 430. So this F indicates that this particular microcontroller has the flash ROM. Okay, the flash ROM memory is used inside this MSP430 microcontroller. If instead of F it has the C, then it indicates that this microcontroller has the CMOS ROM. Okay, if there is a P instead of this F, then it indicates that this MSP430 microcontroller has one-time programmable ROM. That is, it can be programmed only once. It cannot be reprogrammed. So after this 430, this first letter that comes after this 430, it indicates the type of the memory that is used inside this microcontroller. Then this second letter, okay, which is optional. That means in some of the microcontroller, this letter may be there in its name, or in some of the microcontrollers of MSP430, this letter may not be there. Okay, if it is there, then it indicates that for what type of application this microcontroller is optimized. For example, if it is G, that means this particular microcontroller is optimized for the medical field. Okay, if it is E instead of G, then this particular MSP430 is optimized for electric meter applications. Okay, so that is the significance of this second letter. Okay, the first letter indicates the type of the memory that is used in MSP430 microcontroller. This second letter, that which is optional, it indicates the particular field for which this microcontroller is optimized. Okay, then after these two letters, the first letter that comes here, this 4, for example, here it is 4, so it indicates the generation of the microcontroller. So it may be 1, or it may be 2, or it may be 3, or it may be 4. So if it is 1, it indicates the first generation microcontroller of this 430 series. If it is 2, then it indicates it is the second generation microcontroller of this series. Now here it is 4, that means it is the 4th generation microcontroller which belongs to this platform MSP430 microcontrollers. Okay, then this second letter, second number after this 4, this one, this indicates that it is belonging to the series of the similar function. Okay, then these two last two digits, okay, so they indicate what is, how much of the memory is present in the IC and what are the different peripherals. Okay, what is the peripheral configuration for this particular MSP430 microcontroller. Okay, so these two letters indicate the memory size and the peripheral configuration that is available in this particular microcontroller. Okay, then after these 4 digits, there is next letter that is called as I. So this indicates the temperature range. Okay, so if I is present, then this microcontroller is capable of performing properly in the temperature range from -40 to 85. This is the working range for this microcontroller if it is I. Instead of I, if it is T, okay, then this particular microcontroller can function in a temperature range from -40 degrees centigrade to 105 degrees centigrade. Okay, that is the, this letter indicates the temperature range for this, that is this microcontroller can operate in the particular temperature range. Then these 3 letters Q, Z, W, they indicates the package type of this particular microcontroller. And the last letter R, okay, it is optional. Okay, it may be present in some of the microcontrollers and it may be absent in some of the microcontrollers. If it is present, it indicates that it is tape and reel. Okay, so this is how we can come to know what type of memory is present in microcontroller, what is the generation, and what application for it, this microcontroller is optimized. Okay, what is the type of package, okay, what is operating temperature range, everything we can come to know just by looking at the name of this particular microcontroller. So remember, this MSP430 microcontroller, mainly this MSP stands for mixed signal processor. That means it is capable of handling both digital as well as analog signals. Okay, thank you.